Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A shooting at a parking garage near the Riverwalk left multiple people hurt. What police are saying about the incident. Plus, a man was found with multiple gunshot wounds at a 7-Eleven on the northeast side. What police know about the victim and the suspect this morning.
And a live look outside. We've got some clouds this morning. It's going to be another hot day. Your forecast is straight ahead.
Good morning. It's 6 a.m. on your Sunday. It is September 14th. Justin Horn,
Hello.
Always a pleasure to have you in on the weekend.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here on a Sunday.
Justin's a little tired this morning because he stayed up till 11 watching the Aggie game.
But still euphoric over the win. It was a great win. Right at the buzzer. If you missed it, check out the highlights.
Justin will be doing a sports recap for us throughout the morning.
I might. I wish I had better news in the weather department. I wish we had some rain to talk about. We really don't. It's we're still stuck in this late summer pattern. So let's take a look at the temperatures outside. 74 here in San Antonio. Again, not bad. But, you wish it would be cooler this time of year. Maybe some cold fronts coming through. We don't have that yet. They'll be here, but not anytime soon. We do have a few 60s up in the hill country up around Fredericksburg. Our forecast today, 79 at 10 a.m., 85 noontime, 91 at 2 o'clock, and 94 by the afternoon. Basically partly cloudy. That's going to be the one kind of change to the forecast today, is that I think we'll get a bit more cloud cover with some there were some showers and storms across West Texas yesterday. Some of those clouds, not necessarily the rain, but the clouds will be working in from the west. And you can see that. Those were the storms out across parts of West Texas yesterday. And some of those high clouds moving in our direction. So you'll notice just a little bit more cloud cover in the sky today. We also still have a tropical system out in the Atlantic that we need to watch. We'll get you some details on that and look ahead to your work week. All coming up here in just a couple minutes. Sarah?
Justin, thank you. New this morning, 2 people are in the hospital after a parking garage shooting. So San Antonio police say that a total of 3 people were shot on the top floor of the River Center parking garage downtown just after 1 o'clock this morning. The 2 victims were taken to the hospital where they were seriously hurt, and the third was treated for a graze wound. Right now, there's no information on what led to the shooting, and no suspects have been caught. Also new this morning, a man is in the hospital after he was shot multiple times overnight. San Antonio police say this happened just after midnight at a 7-Eleven off of Rittiman Road in I-35. So police don't know what led up to the shooting and they say the suspect ran off, but we'll bring you the latest as this investigation continues throughout the morning. This morning, San Antonio police are still looking for a suspect on the run after a deadly shooting that happened early yesterday morning. So police say a man and an unknown person got into an argument at an apartment complex on San Fernando Street on the west side. At some point, the other person shot the man before taking off. The victim was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. When police initially responded, they thought the shooter was still at the complex. That's what led to that SWAT team video that you're seeing on your screen. So the SWAT team showed up. They later learned that wasn't the case. Neither the victim or the shooter have been identified at this time. And another person has been arrested in relation to a deadly kidnapping and drive-by shooting that happened last month. So this is 20-year-old Marcos Villegas. San Antonio police say he broke into a home with a group of other people and assaulted those inside at gunpoint. Police add the group then sent messages to 44-year-old Antonio Sanchez to lure him to the home. That's when someone shot and killed Sanchez. According to an arrest affidavit, Villegas left the home before the shooting, but it states that he held the gun during the break-in and the initial assault. He's been charged with aggravated kidnapping. Police have also arrested Rafael Almendares and are still looking for 19-year-old Marco Vasquez, who is wanted for capital murder. This morning, the Trump administration has paused some funding for PEPFAR. That's the U.S. program helping fight AIDS around the world. So groups and lawmakers are saying these cuts are already hurting patients in important projects. It's unclear how much money is affected because Congress is still fighting to get billions back. PEPFAR's work was mainly run by USAID, but President Trump shut that down earlier this year. The State Department did allow some life-saving services to keep going, but nonprofits say lots of AIDS projects have been stopped or delayed. Well, following recent violent events like the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, video of him being shot quickly began circling on social media. So how do you talk to your child if they saw it? It's a reality many parents and families are dealing with. So I spoke with the director of the Ecumenical Center, a nonprofit focusing on counseling and services, about how to have those conversations with your children and help them feel safe. How do you talk to your child when they are seeing horrific things on social media or just in media in general?
Be honest with their children, but don't give too many details. Just answer their questions. Remind them that they are safe.
So if your child is a little older, they have social media and they're seeing posts regarding, what happened, liking, sharing. How do you advise a child on commenting on something like that?
With our teenagers, we need to respect their desire for independent information, which is difficult to do, but listen. Be in their space with them, listen to what their concerns are, allow them to share with you what they've seen, what they've heard, and then process that with them.
For teens, preteens that are on social media, something like this happened, do you say, is it time to take a break? How do you respond to that?
I think what you just said is it's time to take a break is the perfect way to couch it.
Anything you want to add to this?
So look for signs of stress, like sleeping too much or not being able to sleep, not eating enough or overeating. If they're younger, they may throw tantrums, and they didn't do that as much in the past. If your child withdraws or your teenager withdraws, which is not uncommon for teenagers, you really have to be very deliberate in being with them.
When you see those signs, have those conversations, and if those things keep persisting, then maybe it's time for professional help.
Exactly. Showing that courage and taking that step. We do have sliding scale appointments so as to take barriers down so people can get the help that they need.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
And you can find the Ecumenical Center's information on our website at ksat.com. 608, 74 degrees. Tylenol's makers met with HHS Secretary Kennedy to push back on autism claims. So what's behind the controversy? Just stay with us.
And outside with live cam, it is a warm, humid morning that's going to lead to a pretty hot afternoon. A look at your Sunday forecast is coming up.
All right, the makers of Tylenol met with Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to discourage him from linking the pain reliever Tylenol to autism. The Wall Street Journal says this meeting happened last week. HHS is studying autism cases with a report due soon. Recent leaks suggest it may link acetaminophen use in pregnancy to autism. An American consumer health company says Tylenol is safe and worries the report could cause some confusion. They also urge moms to talk to doctors before taking any over-the-counter meds. 612, 74 degrees. Coming up, electric bike injuries are surging across the country. What one expert suggests to keep damage minimal. The American College of Surgeons says it's seeing a surge in injuries across the country, particularly among children and teens. That's because of the rising popularity of electric bikes and scooters. The American College of Surgeons says it's a problem nationwide, with more than 20,000 people hurt while riding electric bikes every year. About 3,000 of those require hospitalization. Head injuries are the most common, but there have also been deaths. Doctors say that many times riders they see in the ER either didn't have a helmet or weren't wearing the right one.
This helmet is rated a level 3 helmet, which would be up to 28 miles per hour. And you can see it has a kind of a full shell around it that protects the head. It's also harder than the other one and is better for these higher rates of speed.
Dr. Levy recommends checking helmet ratings before buying one. One place to do that is to check Virginia Tech helmet ratings. The university, in collaboration with the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, have evaluated nearly 300 bike helmets. You can find the results on their website. And you may be wondering what these hand signals are. This is American Sign Language spelling out KSAT, KSAT. It's a language that thousands of people who are deaf or hard of hearing use to communicate every day. So just behind me, you'll see a man speaking in sign language, and you'll quickly understand why. For the first time in over a decade, a local organization hosted a festival for deaf people in San Antonio. Rosaria Oates spoke with people about why having an event like this is so important for our community.
This story is going to look a little bit different. You've already seen some of it. If you look at the top right corner of your screen, this is David Cisneros. He is going to be signing what I say for anyone who's deaf or hard of hearing. That's because the World Health Organization estimates there are about 430 million people experiencing hearing loss worldwide, and September is Deaf Awareness Month.
My love for the deaf community, deaf culture.
It's hard to track down exactly how many people are deaf or hard of hearing in Texas, but here in San Antonio, there is a community.
I would like to see more things happen more often that are accessible for all people, whether they're hearing or they're deaf.
So the Deaf Association of San Antonio, or DASA, hosted the city's first deaf festival in more than 10 years.
We originally started holding this festival back in the 1980s.
This is Joseph, the president of the Deaf Association of San Antonio. Voicing over him signing is a family friend.
It's important to emphasize that deaf people can really do anything with the exception of hearing. They can drive, they can work.
Hearing people see. The deaf people is about love. It's about communication. It's about being shared.
It was really important for me to come to this event because this was the opportunity for me to see all my friends, meet new people. I was able to invite students to come.
Shannon is an ASL teacher at a local high school where she prides herself on getting students immersed in the deaf community.
So I wanted the students to come and see for themselves, see that it's okay to come and talk with deaf people. This is a very loving and welcoming community.
And they hope to make this Deaf Festival an annual event once again.
I really feel inspired to see this many people come out.
Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
And we want to say thank you to David Cisneros for providing the ASL translation for this story. Very cool. You can check it out on KSAT.com.
All right. It's been a kind of a quiet last 7 days or so, and we were really hoping for some cold fronts. September, getting something to come through and change the forecast.
I mean, we have college football. We can talk about college football if you don't want to talk about the weather.
I'd be down with that. I don't know if everyone else would. Hey, the Aggies won. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
I've only mentioned it a few times this morning. But anyway, let's look at the satellite picture. Yesterday, speaking of college football, the game up there in Lubbock was delayed because of rainfall. So there was good rain across West Texas yesterday. Some of the leftovers from that, leftover clouds, not leftover rain, is working its way into South Texas. So that's kind of the one small, minute change in the forecast, is that we will see a bit more cloud cover today, but it does not really change what we're dealing with. Dew points are in the upper 60s this morning, so we're kind of on the verge of really pretty sticky air. The trend has been for it to be very sticky in the morning and then kind of dry out in the afternoon. I think today will be no exception. We'll see a similar setup where it starts off muggy by say 3, 4, 5 o'clock. We're in the pleasant category. You don't really see a heat index because the air dries out. Then it gets muggy again tomorrow morning and then drier by the afternoon yet again. So we're just kind of on that seesaw type situation. Futurecast shows no rain today. I will say this. There's enough moisture out there to where we could see a shower or two tomorrow along the coastal plain. I would not expect that to make it to San Antonio. I just can't rule it out down to the south and east. We're talking 10% chance here. So it's It's basically very minimal, but it does need to be mentioned. 73 at 8 a.m. Noontime at 85. We'll be up around 94 for a high this afternoon. You look long term here. Again, there's just not a lot to this in the sense that not much changes here. High pressure is still close enough to us to where it just kind of keeps things at bay and keeps rain chances kind of out of the picture, even going into next weekend. And by the way, we officially go into fall on not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. It's not going to feel like it. There's just not a lot of change here in this forecast. And you look at the forecast rainfall totals over the next 7 days, and San Antonio is still sitting at nothing here. We're just not expecting much, unfortunately. All the rain's going to be up here across the northern tier of states. So we're talking the Northern Plains, Chicago, Omaha, Minneapolis, Oklahoma City. But here in South Texas, there's just not much there. Not only that, look at the temperature outlook for late September. The entire country is going to be above average. At least that's the way it's trending. And if you were curious, it is not going to be the hottest September on record. We'll share some of those stats with you coming up, but it is definitely warm. There is also a wave out in the Atlantic. There's a 60% chance of development here. Latest thinking is this will probably curve off into the northern Atlantic and not be a problem for the United States, but we are watching that as well. All right, the extended forecast. Look for 93 on Monday, just a very small chance of a shower. Otherwise, mid-90s all week long. Maybe a few more very small chances of rain Friday and Saturday.
A reminder, it's now your chance to nominate your favorite educator at your school or your child's school for KSAT's Educator of the Month Award. Start by scanning that QR code you see on your screen there. You can also visit our website, ksat.com, and search Educator of the Month. This is a wonderful opportunity to shine a spotlight on the people who do so much for our students and our community. Happening in less than an hour, Spurs fans are up early this morning. The Spurs supporter section tryouts this year. There will be a dedicated supporter section at the Frostbank Center for the loudest and proudest Spurs fan, and you can be part of it. So they're holding tryouts today at 7 a.m. at the Freeman Expo Hall with special guest Victor Wembanyama. So you have to be at least 18 years old, and you can RSVP right now on the NBA Spurs page. Such a cool thing. Our Devin Karp's going to be live out there for all of the fun. And if you're looking for something to do today, you can visit the San Antonio Zoo for just $8. That's a deal, right, Justin? Yep. The only requirement is you have to be a Bexar County resident. You just have to bring proof of your address. The zoo is open anytime from 9 to 5. Super cute. All right, 627, 74 degrees. Coming up, San Antonio faces tough choices on park programs, from Tai Chi to swim lessons. So we'll tell you which classes could be cut as the city fights a budget gap. Plus, we have new video for a multiple vehicle crash overnight that involved a Bexar County Sheriff deputy vehicle. That's still ahead. Good morning. It's 6:30 on your Sunday. It's September 14th. We are graced by the presence of Justin Horn, who stayed up till 11 last night watching his Aggies who won.
I had to. Last second play. Big win for the Aggies. But I am awake and happy to be here.
So, all right, Aggies won, UT won, UTSA won.
Texas State did not. Ooh. I hate to throw that out there. My man RJ was up late watching that. That game was even later than the Aggie game.
Woo.
Sorry to the Bobcats.
Sorry.
Good try, though.
Good job for all the wins out there.
Yep.
Winning weather today, question mark?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you, what you consider winning weather. It's not bad. You know, these days have been pretty similar each and every day, where we have these humid mornings and then kind of warm and lower humidity during the afternoon. It's not awful, but it is still pretty warm for September. Sunrise, by the way, this morning will be at 7:18, sunset at 7:40. So we'll have about 12 hours and 22 minutes of daylight today. That sun will be up here in about 45 minutes. All right, temperatures 74 here in San Antonio, 70 in New Braunfels, 70 in Kerrville, 70 in Hondo. Again, not horrible, but you would, like it to be just a little bit cooler this time of year. And I wish I could report that there are some fronts on the way. Still not seeing that in the extended forecast. So we're kind of sitting here at status quo. 85 noontime, 91 at 2 o'clock, 94 at 4 p.m. That will be our high temperature with just a bit more cloud cover today than we've seen in the last couple of days. Coming up, how hot has this September been compared to previous Septembers? We'll take a look at the numbers for you here in just a couple minutes. Sarah?
Justin, thank you. This morning, San Antonio police tell us a child between the ages, we're on a different story here. This crash happened late last night on 35 in Weiner. You can see it involved a Bexar County Sheriff deputy vehicle. We don't have information on this crash, just that there's multiple vehicles involved at I-35 in North Weiner on the northeast side. We're still working to get that information to see what caused the crash and if there are any injuries, especially since you see that severe damage to that deputy vehicle there. We're going to have that for you hopefully coming up by 8 a.m. And this morning, San Antonio police tell us a child between the ages of 10 and 13 is in the hospital after being hit by a car. So this happened after 10 p.m. on the north side of town. Police say the child was riding his bike out of an apartment complex when a car hit him. The child was taken to the hospital with possible head trauma, and the driver is cooperating with police at this time. Well, this morning, the latest on the Charlie Kirk death. The president says he will attend the funeral for the slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk and calls on the nation to heal after his assassination. Here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez with the latest.
After the deadly shooting of controversial activist Charlie Kirk, President Trump says he hopes the country can heal. In a brief phone interview with NBC, the president repeated unfounded claims that the radical left is promoting violence, even as he called for the nation to heal. He added they stand in the way of reconciliation. His comments come as tributes pour in for Kirk, who was fatally shot during a campus debate at Utah Valley University. His widow speaking publicly for the first time since his death, vowing to continue her husband's fight.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Meanwhile, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, the suspected gunman, remains in the Utah County Jail. Investigators have been searching his apartment complex, collecting evidence and towing his vehicle. Sources tell ABC News the suspect's father recognized him in these photos and told his son to turn himself in. They said he initially said no, but then changed his mind.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Authorities say Robinson's family told the investigator he had been more political and talked about how he didn't like Kirk's views. Kirk's funeral is planned for September 21st at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. President Trump already saying he plans to attend. The organization Kirk founded, Turning Point USA, inviting supporters to join them in celebrating what they called his remarkable life and enduring legacy. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
Well, Tai Chi in the park, pipe cleaner art, swim lessons. What will be cut as San Antonio tries to fill its budget hole? The city's Parks and Recreation Department offers tens of thousands of classes every year, but nearly 1 out of every 3 is completely empty. City Hall reporter Garrett Berninger tells us how the city plans to shrink those offerings next year.
It was time to dig deep. If I slacked, it was going to be pretty obvious. Because of the 10 people in this interval training class, I was clearly the rookie. Bertha Sanchez, the one in purple kicking my butt, goes to 5 or 6 Parks and Recreation classes a week. Not all classes are this well attended.
Have you ever gone to a Parks and Recs program or class where you're the only one there?
Yes, I have.
Does that happen often?
Yes, sometimes, yes. It was a slam ball class, and I was by myself. It was at Elmendorf Park.
And she's heard of others where no one shows.
Classes far away, like yoga classes, where there's nobody there. The parks that are way out there in the north side or somewhere.
Parks and Rec has more than fitness classes. Last fiscal year, it hosted nearly 79,000 classes. But at 32% of them, no one showed up.
I will point out, I think one of the highest ones was art. And so of the total classes being reduced, the bulk of those are in the community centers, not fitness in the park.
City officials say cutting classes that are led by temporary staff and have 0 participants would save nearly $624,000. A small part of the city's plans to close a nearly $173 million hole in its main operating fund over the next 2 years. But the parks director says that's not the only thing forcing the changes.
I think it's more focused on just being innovative. We're still providing classes focused on quality, not quantity, while at the same time expanding access to our community centers.
And fitness classes like this torture session
that's such a stupid idea.
Are still in demand.
Eric Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. Well, 2 Harper ISD students have been arrested after allegedly planning an attack on campus. Gillespie County Sheriff's Office says one student has been charged with a 3rd-degree felony and a state jail felony. The other student has been charged with a state jail felony. Both students are being held in juveniles detention centers. Officials add the investigation is still ongoing, and we will update you with new information as we get it. And Uvalde CISD schools will be shutting their doors for most of the upcoming week after an alleged cyber attack. So UCISD campuses will be closed starting Monday the 15th through Thursday the 18th. District officials tell us the ransomware has been found in the district's servers, adding that this hack affects systems that are crucial for safety and security, such as the central camera monitoring location, visitor management systems, and the phone system, just to name a few. An investigation is underway. Well, if these sores look familiar, you've seen hand, foot, and mouth disease. The virus causes these types of red blisters, and it's very contagious. Recently, a local mom went on TikTok venting about her school district's policy, saying kids are allowed to come to school while they are still contagious. So our Courtney Friedman checked out the policy at Northeast ISD and asked a doctor what he suggests.
Hand, foot, and mouth is going around really bad in San Antonio. And the school districts, say my children's school, is allowing children to attend school with active blisters.
Dominique West posted this TikTok last week, which has garnered at least 180,000 views. She's concerned about hand, foot, and mouth disease, a viral infection that results in red sores or bumps in different parts of the body.
It is so contagious. And I think that's the biggest reason why I made my video.
We caught up with Dominique, who said her kids at NICU schools told her there are students with open sores allowed at school.
So I got home and I examined her, and sure enough, she was full blown. She had sores in her mouth already. She had sores everywhere.
We reached out to NICU about their policy, and sure enough, students with sores are not explicitly barred from coming to school. The district said, we follow the Department of State Health guidelines for contagious illnesses. They state that a student with hand, foot, and mouth can return to school when they are fever-free. Of course, if the doctor's note for a particular student said they could not return to school until all blisters are healed, we would follow that guidance, end quote. Many other school districts follow the same state guidelines.
Does that concern you?
I think school districts have a very tricky job of trying to balance out when do kids stay home, when do they come back to the school environment. Everybody's really close together, and so there's a lot of risk there. Some skin lesions can, even after they've healed, still be present, so it's a little bit difficult to time it based on skin lesions sometimes.
University Health Infectious Disease Dr. Jason Bowling said that's why his main emphasis is on hand washing.
Especially before eating, before touching their face, make sure that they're doing hand hygiene.
While Dominique wishes the state and school policies were less vague, She's also hoping doctors will write notes urging contagious kids to stay home.
As a mom, I just want to keep our children safe, truly. I just want to keep everybody's children safe.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Well, Dr. Bowling adds because it's a virus, there's no medication for it, but it usually lasts about 5 to 7 days. However, it's important to take those extra precautions if you're pregnant or if you have a weak immune system.
Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss.
Tree, not in a car. You let me be.
The Babies with Books readathon is in full swing at North Central Baptist Hospital. It's an international competition where nurses and family members read to infants in the NICU, units to promote healthy development and raise awareness. So infants in NICU units are in special circumstances developing in a much different environment than most children.
With the NICU, one of the things is that they're hearing different sounds. They're hearing the sound of the alarms, the buzzers, sounds that are not natural. And so getting to hear a mother's voice, a father's voice, or even a caregiver's voice is something that is so natural to that bond between a parent and a child. Them here or there, anywhere.
This year's readathon runs through September 18th. That is baby Archer. He is 1 month old. And he's going really strong. I've talked to mom, and prayers and support to the entire family. Yeah, such a great event. My daughter, Dottie, was born at North Central Baptist, and she spent a week in the NICU. So I want to thank the NICU nurses and the team out there. They do a great job. Thank you so much for taking care of all the NICU babies and my baby, Dottie, who is now 6 months and healthy. It's 6:43 and 74 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA, child care costs are out of control, leaving families struggling to find safe options. Next, we'll show you how a new Head Start program on the South Side is helping kids get the best beginning possible.
And a live look outside. We've got some light now on the horizon, some morning clouds. We'll see a bit more cloud cover today, but will that impact temperatures? Your forecast is straight ahead.
So she rescued her grandchildren from a bad environment, but now her cost of living just got more challenging, specifically in the child care department. But thanks to the nonprofit Family Service, they now have a free Head Start in her Southside community. Childcare is no longer a pain, and she tells our Daphne Gray her granddaughter's future just got a whole lot brighter.
A is for apple.
Well, we've been spending more than $500 as a month as we go.
That's in childcare alone, a financial challenge 57-year-old Florencia Zapata has had to deal with since taking full custody of her 2-year-old granddaughter.
She was going to be a year old. She was already in foster parents.
It's hard, but it's an abrupt expense Zapata says is worth having to make sure the toddler grows up in a loving home with her 2 older sisters.
The reason why I took over the girls because of CPS. She's always laughing, just a happy child, you know, because in the beginning she wasn't.
Oh, me? Yes, you. Not me. Yes, you.
We started teaching her how to eat, and she learned how to walk pretty much. And she knows how to say her ABCs and numbers.
A smart little girl getting ready for a new chapter because now the family will soon see some relief thanks to the nonprofit Family Service opening a standalone Head Start at their Presa Community Center location, just minutes away from the family's house. Zapata heard about the free services the school offers, applied, and got the call that her granddaughter will soon be one of the first students attending that location.
Well, for me, it's very exciting because faithfully is gonna be excited, and I'm very excited for her because it looks like I'm going to school, not her.
But she sees this as more than just free services. She sees this as the start of a successful education that she never had.
You see how me and Grandpa doesn't know how to read and write? It's hard for us to do anything because if you don't know how to read and write, what are you gonna do?
Well, Family Service tells us as soon as they get their licensing improved, they're hoping to open their doors by Head Start this week. And it's year-round, so if you are in the similar position as Zapata's and need help, we have a link for you on KSAT.com.
Great program, truly is. All right, we've got some, actually a beautiful sunrise starting to take shape out there, Sharon. Look at some of the TransGuide cameras.
I want to see.
Yes, unfortunately, we don't have our live cam right now, but...
Oh, it's like purple.
It is purple. I'll show you some of the TransGuide pictures, hopefully, here in just a little bit, and you'll see some of the beautiful colors. We have some cirrus clouds moving out, and that always provides for some beautiful sunrises and sunsets. So I would imagine not only will the sunrise be good today, so too will the sunset. Don't forget to snap a photo. If you put it on Instagram, great, but also put it on KSAT Connect so we can take a look at it and share with everyone else. All right, has it felt warm to you? You'd be correct. It's been a pretty warm month, but we've also had some cool mornings. So if you average out all the numbers, 2023 was the hottest September on record. You go back to 2019, that was number 2, 1911, you see the list there. Right now, if the month were to end today, our average is 81.9 this month, which is ranked 23rd warmest September on record. So really, hasn't been that bad. We started off the month okay. The afternoons, yes, have been above average, but the mornings have not been so bad. So when you average it all out, no, we're not even in the top 10 hottest Septembers. Now, do you think we'll continue to move up the list a little bit? Because we will continue to see above average temperatures in the afternoon. The average right now, average high, that is 91. We're expecting temperatures to be 93, 94, maybe as high as 95 by the end of the work week. Here's the setup. So we had some storms, nice storms yesterday in West Texas, and that energy is scooting east. And we're seeing some of the leftovers from that. Now, it's not rain, but it's just some high cloudiness that is drifting in, and that, again, is why we're seeing a beautiful sunrise. That storm system that created that rain is well to the north, too far north for us to get any benefits from it. So we do not get any rain, other than to say we may see and I do mean a shower tomorrow across our eastern or southeastern counties. I would say that here in San Antonio, it's probably less than 10% chance that we see anything. Forecast for today is a dry one, 73 at 8 a.m., noontime 85, 91 at 2 o'clock, and 94 will be our high with partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Long-term forecast, high pressure still around. I mean, it does scoop back to the south and west a little bit as we get into the latter part of the week as the storm system comes across the northern plains. That may give us a shower or two, maybe Friday into Saturday, but again, there's just no real good storm system here to generate a lot of rain. And so the forecast rainfall totals over the next 7 days are slim to none, shows 200ths of an inch there. I doubt we even get that. All the rain's going to be to our north, and that's where corridor of heaviest rain will be up across the northern plains and also down there in Florida. So our extended forecast will go 93 tomorrow, 10% chance of rain, and basically 93, 94, 95. You take your pick. You can decide, really. It's going to be one of those. It's like, those books, you pick your own adventure. You can do that here with these temperatures.
Okay, I like Monday and Wednesday because it's the lowest, 93. So.
Yeah, again, the mornings aren't bad. It's just the afternoons are a little hot.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
Okay, it is 6:53 and 74 degrees. We'll be right back. Race Day is on September 27th. We're talking about the 12th annual Head for the Cure 5K. It's happening across the street at 8 a.m. at Providence Catholic School. It's all to raise money for cancer research, for brain cancer research. If you visit ksatcommunity.com, we have that link where you can register. It is 6:56 and 74 degrees. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. We are in the mid-70s. We'll make our way up to 85 noontime, 94 for a high today. And guess what? More of this to come. Temperatures in the mid-90s most of next week.
Very cool. Thanks, Justin.
You got it.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up at 8 a.m., we're going to be live with the Spurs as they're having their tryouts for their fan section.